Okay, so this video is part 2 of being emotionally weighed down, emotionally overloaded, emotionally drained, emotionally exhausted, whatever you want to call it. They're all the same, right? So in this video, this is about ways of overcoming it and what we should look like in our more transformed version of ourselves. This released of the emotional burden, right? So, ways of overcoming it, something I told y'all in the first video that I really want to go in depth about was limiting the negative influences. But before I go deep into that, I want to finish out the list of ways to overcome it, which was getting in your system uplifting and inspiring content, whether it's books, podcasts, the content that you watch here on TikTok, whatever it is that you're scrolling and watching on your phone. It needs to be uplifting, positive, good fucking energy, right? It says get creative, so dancing, expressive dancing, writing, painting, drawing, getting into movement, self-care, reading, soaking, things of that nature, developing a healthy diet, make sure we're staying hydrated, reflecting over goals, and pointing out what matters the most to us, and also trying our best to visualize our future. And if we can't visualize it, it's kind of like, what do I want it to look like, right? And the way that our more transformed self should look, our more healed self, our less burdened self, the way he or she should look, our higher self is of a confident posture, radiant energy, vibrant energy, clear skin, believe it or not, healthy appearance, brighter outlook on life, being more emotionally stable, having a greater self-love, a proactive mind that sees, the good in things versus seeing things as a stress factor and an obstacle, forming more meaningful connections, being a healthy role model for our children when it comes to emotional intelligence, coping skills, self-care, self-compassion, self-acceptance, things of that nature. Being more playful with our children, more playful just in general. Like, you literally, a weight being lifted. It's like, oh, okay, I'm back to myself. Hey, y'all, like that. And like actually meaning it, not putting up the front like, yeah, I'm good, party time. Like, no, genuinely being able to say, like, I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm back to myself now. Like, I'm me. I feel great. Let's do this, right? And actually meaning it and being able to maintain that mentality. Not it just being a mood swing, but it actually being who we are at heart. Like, I'm okay in my heart, so I'm able to actually go out into the world and tell people, I'm okay. How are you? And not it just being an exchange of words just to carry out the fucking conversation, right? Another way we would look in a more transformed way is more hopeful, right? And also feeling and being more fulfilled with ourselves, our life, how life is going, our finances, what type of parent we are, what type of lover we are, what type of lover we have, what type of friends we have. Just being fulfilled in all areas, right? Now, back to limiting negative influences, y'all. When you think negative influence, what do you think? Most people think, okay, that means staying away from people who would cause you to behave a certain way. Moving away from people who, they're not good examples, right? And that's the truth. But in this case right here, y'all, when it comes to overcoming emotionally, or being emotionally weighed down, limiting our negative influence means reducing how often we're around whatever it is that's fucking us up in the head. Reducing our contact with it. And literally, I feel like this is probably what trips so many fucking people up Because a lot of people think, okay, if you're emotionally drained or weighed down, it's like, just get in therapy, talk about it. Yeah. But the thing is, y'all, if we're still entertaining what's fucking us up on the inside, it defeats the whole purpose. No matter how many therapy sessions you get into, no matter how much time you spend in fucking therapy, in yoga, no matter how much water you drink, vitamins, how much ashwagandha you pop, if you are still around what is fucking you up, or if you're still replaying in your head, sometimes maybe we have gotten away from what's fucking us up in the head, but if it's still up here, we keep thinking about it, we keep replaying it, it's that considers that influence still around us, even if it's not physically around us, right? And so I feel like out of all the solutions that ChatGPT offered me, I feel like that is the biggest and most challenging part, because we all know the quote, you can't heal in the environment that broke you. Basically, like you can't heal in that same environment. But what about getting out the environment, but that shit is still in your head, right? So that's where the reprogramming comes in, because a lot of times, a lot of us, we have gotten away from what it is that's fucking us up, right? But it may still be up here, or a lot of times it has snuck its way off in here, so it's in here, right? So, and for some people, it's both around and here and in here, right? So, to me, that's the biggest hurdle, which limiting our negative influences, limiting the physically being around us, conversations that involve that, content on here that involves that. Y'all, I can't tell y'all, like, how many times have you been like upset or pissed off at your partner, or thinking that they cheated or anything like that, and you come across a video that's like that, right? So shit like that can actually trigger you to go backwards into that same fucking thought process, right? So limiting our negative influences, a lot of times it's not even about getting away from shit, because a lot of us, we do good with keeping bullshit at bay, but the bullshit, it can be up here. And how do you get away from this, right? And the thing is, it's not about getting away from our thoughts. It's about making peace with those thoughts and trying to replace those thoughts with something healthier, right? Kind of like a mental agreement. Like, every time I think about this, I'm gonna think about this too, right? Because a lot of times we can't stop those recurring thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, right? Or a lot of times those random bouts of anxiety or fear or sadness, right? A lot of times we can't control it, but we can like add to it or combo those thoughts and feelings with something else that like counteracts it. Like, each time I think about something negative, do a push-up or some shit like that, like something positive behind that shit. Or each time I have that, I'm gonna talk to somebody. That's something positive. Or each time I have that thought or that feeling, I'm gonna pray. Or each time, like what it mentioned on here, each time I have this thought or this feeling, I'm gonna journal. I'm gonna write this shit down. Or if you're like a verbal person, I'm gonna make a TikTok video about it, right? Or I'm gonna talk to my therapist about it, right? So for every negative thought or feeling, we compare that shit with something positive, something productive. So it's like, if I'm gonna have these negative thoughts and emotions, at least let me have a positive and productive action put behind that shit. So although I'm still in my rut or whatever, in my head or in my feelings, I'm also still fucking progressing. All at the same fucking time, right? So, y'all, this self-healing journey is very much fucking worth it. We're very much fucking worth it, because we deserve to feel good on the fucking inside. We deserve to be able to go around and be like, I'm good, how are you? And mean that shit. We deserve to mean that shit, okay? All right. I love y'all.